Good morning, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Dewey Show. I want you to know, folks, you are loved. I love you. I thank you so much for tuning in. And I would like to thank today's sponsor, AdamMale.com. Would you like to spice up your sex life? Well, Adam Male has you covered. They have sex toys, condoms, lubricants, underwear, DVDs, literally thousands of items that will definitely make you and or your partner very happy and very satisfied. But hold up, that's not even the best part. The best part is, folks, if you go to AdamMale.com and you use the offer code Dewey at checkout, you will get 50% off. That's right, 50% off of almost any one item, as well as free and always discreet shipping. That's AdamMale.com, ADAMMALE.com. And the offer code to use at checkout for 50% off and free shipping is Dewey, DEWEY. Along with everything else I talk about today, this link and offer code is in the description of today's episode. Thank you to AdamMale.com for sponsoring the Dewey Show. Hey, to the new folks out there, I would like to ask you, please follow, like, subscribe to the Dewey Show, whatever your platform says to do, so that you can be a part of the Dewey Show family. We welcome you with open arms, and we thank you for being here. So welcome to the Dewey Show. Let's get going. And here we go. Folks, I sincerely apologize. I messed up and put yesterday's recording on the first part, so, and I also deleted the first part of yesterday's, but let me just go ahead and set up what you're about to hear. So Joe Rogan claims that, Donald Trump has said, oh, hey, I want to be on your podcast, and Joe turned him down 3 times, according to Joe Rogan. However, the 45th president said that he was not asked by Joe. In fact, he did not ask Joe, but he was asked by Joe, according to Donald. So, whoever you trust in that situation, that's up to you. But yes, Donald Trump claims that he turned Rogan down, and Rogan claims that he turned Donald down. So here is what Joe Rogan said about Donald Trump.
By the way, I'm not a Trump supporter in any way, shape, or form. I've had the opportunity to have him on my show more than once. I've said no every time. I don't want to help him. I'm not interested in help.
Hey friends, real quick, just want to pop in and say, please support the sponsor of today's show, AdamMale.com. You will not be sorry that you did. AdamMale.com has thousands of items that will spice things up in the bedroom with you and or your partner. They have sex toys, condoms, lubricants, underwear, DVDs. Again, thousands of items. But that's not even the best part. Because if you go to AdamMale.com and you use the offer code Dewey at checkout, you will get 50% off of almost any one item, as well as free and always discreet shipping. That's AdamMale.com, ADAMMALE.com. And the offer code to use at checkout is Dewey. That is DEWEY. Thank you again to AdamMale.com for sponsoring the Dewey Show. Hey folks, also while I have you here, please like, follow, subscribe, whatever your platform tells you to do. I would appreciate that. I love you folks. Back to the show. While Joe Rogan has come under fire from critics who've accused him of using his popular podcast to promote conspiracy theories on politics, the coronavirus, and vaccinations, the host emphasized this week that there's one guest he won't have on his show. Donald Trump. You just heard him. In fact, Rogan said, you just heard what he said. I'm reading from the article. Rogan, who supported Bernie Sanders in 2020, and has said he would back Florida Governor Ron DeSantis if the Republican were to run for president in 2024. He described Trump as, quote, a polarizing figure and, quote, an existential threat to democracy itself, end quote. Quote, so many people felt like they could abandon their own ethics and morals and and principles just to attack him and anybody who supports him, end quote. Okay, so those are the facts. Here's my opinion. Joe Rogan has been grifting the Trump audience. And Donald Trump, the reason people, were upset with you, Joe Rogan, is because you are you're spouting bullshit about the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, on your podcast. And I think that it's dumb that you do it that way, but you do. I don't know. For shit's sake, when you caught COVID, you said that you took ivermectin. So, yeah. But, nobody is pissed off at anybody for liking Donald Trump. That's their right. But it's also our right to, not want to be around people who are obnoxious about it. And Donald Trump, by the way, responded saying that it was the other way around. Joe begged Donald to come on and Donald turned him down. But I believe Joe Rogan over Trump, to be honest with you. Okay, also, I would like to debunk something that's going on, it's going around online, saying that we are getting another stimulus check. I want you to know that that is complete bullshit. There is some Democrats talking about like a gas gift card type thing, but as far as a stimulus check, no. And like I said, they're just talking about it. They've not, to my knowledge, brought up any type of legislation for it. They did bring up legislation to stop oil from price gouging at the pump, but every Democrat voted yes and every Republican voted no. So it did not pass because of the filibuster. Anyway, I think that we definitely need to keep an eye on what's being posted online and what's actually happening, because that's like a national security issue. Okay, let's get going with what the New York Times has reported. The killer of George Floyd, his name is Derek Chauvin, by the way, sentenced to 21 years for violating George Floyd's civil rights. Well, it just says for violating civil rights. A white Minneapolis police officer whose murder of a black man outside a convenience store touched off protests around the world was sentenced to 21 years in a federal prison on Thursday in a case that signaled a new readiness to hold police officers criminally accountable for misconduct. The former officer, Derek Chauvin, 48, was sentenced using excessive force under color of law against both George Floyd, the man who died in the encounter, and a 14-year-old boy who was also black, who is injured and who was injured, an unrelated though similar incident. With time already served deducted, Mr. Chauvin's sentence amounts to 20 years and 5 months, near the lower end of the range of 20 to 25 years prescribed by the sentencing guidelines. Its federal and state services are to be served concurrently. The sentencing marks the likely end of Mr. Chauvin's legal saga, as he was convicted of murdering Mr. Floyd in a dramatic trial in state court last year and sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison. A conviction he appealed. The sentence on Thursday came in a separate federal civil rights case in which Derek Chauvin pled guilty, severely limiting his right to challenge the sentence. Okay, so that's the news. Here is my opinion. I'm pissed off about one thing. He's serving these concurrently. Now, if you don't know what it means to serve 2 or more sentences concurrently, that means like at the same time. So if he's in federal prison, then he also gets credit from his when he was convicted of murdering George Floyd. And he got 20, I think it said 20 to 25 years or something for his murder, and then the FBI, the federal government said, hey, we're going to charge him with essentially a hate crime, I think is what it is. And it needs to be consecutive, so that they don't run, both sentences don't run alongside each other. He needs to serve his 20 to 25 years in the state, I believe. I think it's the state of Minnesota. He needs to serve his state prison sentence, and then when he finishes that, then he should go to federal prison. This concurrent bullshit, it's not cool. I don't like it. I'm not in favor of it. Fuck Derek Chauvin and any cop that is like him. As you beautiful people know, you can go to deweyshow.com to learn more about me or the Dewey Show. There are a lot of things there, but mainly please support today's sponsor, AdamMale.com. If you go to AdamMale.com and use the offer code Dewey at checkout, you will get 50% off of almost any one item, as well as free and always discreet shipping. That's AdamMale.com. ADAMMALE.com, and the offer code to use at checkout is Dewey. That's DEWEY. Along with everything else I talk about today, this link and offer code will be in the description of today's episode. Also, folks, please subscribe, please rate the podcast, please share all that stuff. I really would like to build an audience here. I'm also on TikTok if you want to find me. I'm at Dewey the Great. And then when you get to my podcast, put a star emoji. And I'll know, just on any video, just comment a star. And we'll just be podcast homies, But yeah, thank you to Adam Mel for sponsoring the Dewey Show, and thank you, beautiful people, for listening. I love y'all, and remember that love is everything.